welcome to this edition of the Biker Angle. But before we begin, and welcome to this edition of the Biker Angle. It is 10/3 of 2018, and hope everybody is out there is having a good morning. Got that cup of joe going, all that good jive. A couple announcements. We just added a new feature over at HarleyLiberty.com. If you hit the follow button on any of the articles over there, you'll be able to get daily emails in your box letting you know what's going on in the biker scene. Also, I'm opening up the lines over at Motorcycle Madhouse. We're going to be starting to have a segment on the Madhouse where people can come on, give their point of views, and all that good shit. We can discuss any kind of subjects you guys want, but I want to get some subscriber involvement, if you will, going on at the Madhouse because you guys have been supporting us real good and love hearing your guys' thoughts and all that good stuff. The first one's happening this Saturday where we have a millennial who is responding to that one recording where the one guy was going around bitching about how, the older guys suck and so on. So you'll hear a response from a millennial on what he thought of that recording. Also, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Hitting that subscribe button and dinging that little bell is going to let you know when the videos go up every morning. And it really helps us get out there and keeping everything free for you guys. Because on Insane Throttle, none of our platforms is ever going to be paid. It's always going to be free. Never going to charge anybody for anything. So, also, if you haven't picked up your copy of the new Age of Biking Brotherhood, get on it. It helped. All the proceeds helped get Motorcycle Madhouse going 5 days a week. I'm actually going into the planning stages of what a show would look like Monday through Friday for an hour each day. So if you can, help that out. The links are in the description box and really appreciate it. But today we're going to start out because the last week or so we've been hearing a lot with Fort Worth, Texas, how the police were when the Mongols showed up, the Vagos, and so on. And everybody's seen that famous video where the cops had everybody against the wall, gun drawn, in a private establishment. Not to mention a little 8-year-old kid in there, the owner's grandbaby. She was only 8 years old and had to see all that crap going down. And Double D actually came out with a fantastic article. And if you don't know who Double D is, he's from the Motorcycle Profiling Project. Hit that internet search engine, or I might, if I don't forget, I'll put a link in the description box where you can go over to his site. It's everything about motorcycle profiling. This guy is tirelessly working for the club community and for bikers in general, so you got to give it to Double D. But let's go over his article, because apparently authorities have been misapplying the Texas law to disarm bikers down there. Now, you would think in Texas, the right to bear arms and all that shit is, almost a guaranteed thing, man. It's like sacred trying to go after them firearms down in Texas. So when this all started going down with the Mongos and the Vagos and how the police harassment was, it was unheard of that they were just arresting people because they were wearing colors on. And the reason being is they were applying some kind of law where it makes it illegal for a known gang member to carry a firearm. So let's go into his article. And this is from Double D. The MPP has repeatedly reported on the rising trend in Texas of arresting members of motorcycle clubs for possession of weapons, including members that have no criminal record and that possess a license to carry or a concealed carry permit. Prosecutions follow an arrest, and on September 21st, 2018, a jury in El Paso convicted an individual with no criminal record solely for being a member of the Bandidos motorcycle club in possession of a legal weapon. If this seems outrageous, your instincts are correct. The MPP, after conducting cursory research on 46.02, has identified precedent. Ex parte Flores, and it gives the case number and all that stuff, that clearly articulates how law enforcement is currently misinterpreting and misapplying Texas statute in violation of the basic rule of evidence and the U.S. Constitution. Law enforcement and prosecutors should immediately cease and desist misapplying Texas statute. Applying Texas Penal Code 4602 to members of clubs with no criminal records and even LTCs, again, carried permits, would chill First Amendment association and the doctrine of personal guilt. Quote, a cornerstone of American judicial prudence, with what's going on in Washington, where you're guilty until proven innocent. We just see the way this country is really going. And here's a summary of the Ex parte Flores. Ex parte Flores, decided by the Texas 14th Court of Appeals in November 2015, completely discredits law enforcement's current application of 46.02 to any member of a club labeled a criminal street gang by law enforcement, found to be in possession of a weapon. The plain language of 4602 requires that the defendant must be one of 3 or more individuals continuously or regularly associating in the commission of criminal activities. To apply 4602 to any member of the Bandidos, for example, relies on the incorrect construction of the statute that would be constitutionally arbitrary and overboard. Law enforcement and prosecutors' arguments that a defendant need not be involved in or even aware of the gang's criminal activity rely on an incorrect construction of the statute. The term member in section 4602 derives its content from the definition of a criminal street gang contained in section 7101. Read together, these provisions indicate that a gang member must be one of the 3 or more persons who continuously or regularly associate in the commission of criminal activities. Ex parte Flores explains that all evidence of criminal activity not directly connected to the defendant must be excluded under Rule 403. Moreover, 4602 does not authorize law enforcement's currently unfeathered, arbitrary, and discriminatory application of 4602 being applied to individuals for mere membership in what law enforcement labels a criminal street gang. The task to identify whether an individual continuously or regularly associates in the commission of criminal activity is well within the normal law enforcement duties during a traffic stop. No indication of a criminal record, no outstanding warrants, or possession of a LTC are clear indications that an individual is not continuously or regularly associated in the commission of criminal activity. Finally, applying 4602 solely based on membership in a motorcycle club violates the First Amendment and the doctrine of personal guilt. There is no evidence that by merely wearing a 1% colors an individual is involved in or associated with the alleged violent or criminal activity of other 1%er members. It is a fundamental principle that the government may not impose restrictions on an individual, quote, merely because an individual belongs to a group, some members of which committed acts of violence. In fact, the Supreme Court has long disapproved governmental action denying rights and privileges solely based on a citizen's association with an unpopular organization. That coming from Healy v. James, 408 U.S. 169. To permit law enforcement to arrest and prosecutors to charge Any person who wears the insignia of the One Percenter Club without regard to or knowledge of that individual's specific intent to engage in the alleged violent activities committed by other members. It's unethical to the basic principles enshrined in the First Amendment and repugnant to the fundamental doctrine of personal guilt that is hallmark of American jurisprudence. So, what did the jury say it's illegal for a Bandido to possess a gun? The recent conviction of Bandido DD in El Paso was unjust and raises some serious questions. The requirement of personal guilt should have been explained to the jury. Why would every attorney involved not be aware of ex parte flores? Why would evidence of crimes not directly connected to DT be entered into evidence, considering Rule 403 is a basic rule of evidence? Sounds like DT needed a better fucking lawyer. The MPP has every hope that DT will be successful on appeal and that this recent trend will come to an end, or at the very least, that those continually to falsely arrest and maliciously prosecute individuals based on a misinterpretation and application of a statute will be held responsible. All law enforcement agents, law enforcement agencies, and prosecutors should immediately cease and desist applying 4602 to individuals solely based on membership in a motorcycle club that authorities label a criminal street gang. Probable cause for an arrest under 4602 requires that an individual not only express association, but also be directly involved in the continuous or ongoing criminal activity of the organization. Absent other specific evidence, a clean criminal history check or a valid LTC are factors that can be established during a traffic stop that evaporate the probable cause necessary to establish that an individual is a member of a criminal street gang by statute, and hence subject to arrest and prosecution under Texas Penal Code Section 4602, which prohibits possession of weapons by members of a criminal street gang. There's simply no excuse for prosecutors in these jurisdictions. A basic understanding of the rules of evidence reveals that any criminal activity not directly connected to the defendant has no prohibitive value, is unduly prejudicial, and should be properly excluded under the rule. Arrest of motorcycle club members with no criminal records for illegal possession of weapons in El Paso, Fort Worth, Houston, and elsewhere in Texas should not be happening. Proper training and understanding the constitutional principles and relevant law would prevent such miscarriages of justice. And I know I'll get a lot of those who are law enforcement pole suckers, as I call them, because no matter what, cops don't do nothing wrong to these people. Hey, they're there to do a job, and if it wasn't for one percenters doing criminal activity, they have nothing to worry about. Blah, 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 blah. That's all I have to fucking say to you guys. Go over to Law Abiding Biker if you want to fucking talk that bullshit. Anyway, what you're seeing right now is Texas is the epicenter of what's going on with motorcycle profiling. And if we don't watch it and we don't start getting in a fight with Double D and, the Confederation of Clubs, you're going to start seeing these fucking Vlad laws start popping up like they got over in Oz. And there's, actually, I interviewed him on Motorcycle Madhouse. If you have any questions, look for Kev in the comments sections of any of the videos. He's from Australia, and he can tell you what them Vlad laws are all about. And right now, it looks like the Texas PD and all the prosecutors down there are trying to do anything and everything possible to skewer penal codes to use against club members. Now, again, for those pole fucking suckers, let's just call them the Blue Gang pole suckers. How the hell can you come back and say, well, He's a bandito. He's a criminal. Well, it just says this guy had no criminal record, had the proper concealed carry permit, and just because he was wearing colors, which is protected by the First Amendment, by the way, is a criminal. Now, that's an argument I really never got, especially in the case where I remember I did the last video in response to Chuck. For everything a fucking 1%er does, your Blue Crew gang does 10 times worse. Right now in Chicago, we got a trial going on with a cop. He fucking put 14 or 15 bullets in somebody in his back. But hey, and what's even funnier is the motherfucker didn't do nothing. All he did was turn his fucking back and he got all kinds of fucking bullets in him. So it really does get irritating when you hear, you know, you poll suckers out there, because I know most of you are freaking trolls from Law-Abiding Biker and that fucking faggot over there. But it does get tiring. And remember, if they can use this kind of law against club members, they're going to start using this shit against everybody wearing a fucking patch. And this can go anything from CMA to veterans organizations to even freaking hog members. Ask Kev from Australia. That's what they're doing over there right now. They get to skew the law any way they want. What it's really called is Gestapo tactics. Really. You gotta use your freaking brain. Hey, I get it. You want to support the fucking blue gang. That's on you guys, man. Do what you gotta do. Handle your business the way you want to handle it. But to go out there and say that everybody's a freaking criminal in a 1%er club, you're fucking stupid. You really are. Because it's actually the flip opposite in a 1%. You know, I know it's a 1%er club, but it's opposite. 99.9% of the guys in a 1%er club, they hold full-time jobs. It's work, family, then club. You guys are stuck in this 1980s, 1990s, 1970s way of freaking thinking. It's just not that way anymore. It really isn't. Yeah, I agree. You know, clubs have to freaking evolve. Because I actually got a question, and that was actually a good talking point on one of the comments. I'll actually bring that shit up on the live session. But, yeah, get off fucking track now. Anyway, yeah, some shit has to evolve within clubs. But the way you poll suckers are looking at this whole thing is actually kind of fucking ignorant. It really is. It's true blue ignorant. And not to make a comment with true blue, but anyway, it's ignorant. And the reason why it's ignorant is because you're out there, you're watching these damn TV shows, or, you know, you're watching these freaking reality series, and it gets in your mind that that's what it is. It's not like that out there anymore. Yeah, motherfuckers are out there doing their thing. But it's only a few amongst the fucking clubs that are doing that shit. You honestly think if a club's a criminal freaking enterprise, that it'd be only one or two people doing the shit in a chapter? No, the whole motherfucking thing would be like the goddamn Costa Nostra. Really, these guys would be running around on goddamn $50,000 bikes. They'd be living in you know, it just don't make no sense where you fucking pole suckers come from. It really don't. Because the ignorance shows. And this was always the problem, especially in the mid-90s and the early 2000s with rubs. You guys thought you knew what the hell you were talking about. You know nothing of what you're talking about. Nothing. You know, you were raised with your spoon-fed bullshit in your mouth growing up, and you got your college degree, you got your freaking white-collar bullshit job, making what, you know, 100,000, whatever it is, but then you got it up your ass that, hey, I'm middle-aged, I need to let loose, you know, because I was too fucking chicken shit in college to let loose and go get you some. So now, you want to live on the wild side. You want to go buy a Harley, and you want to get your little pretty vest and get out there and act like you're an expert on a fucking lifestyle that you've only been a part of maybe 5 years at the most. And you base your freaking experience or your views on TV? Really? Come on, man. It's fucking ignorant bullshit. You know, I suggest, because Big Kaz just put out a fucking great video over on his channel. I'd go over there and watch that. And you know what? That's straight from the heart what he said. It talks about, you know, the 1%er lifestyle and all that stuff, you know, about it being about family, work, club. Yeah, the 1%er shit is basically doing it your way. That don't mean you're a fucking criminal. Come on, man. If that was the freaking case, the jails would be overloaded with goddamn fucking bikers. And as you knew on Motorcycle Madhouse, I brought on, because I give everybody their side of the story, I brought on a Leo, a corrections officer. Even he admitted there's not a lot of fucking bikers in the joint. You know, so come on, man. If there's some big criminal organization or there's some street gangsters, you think they'd be getting busted left and right. Or, if they're not, you're saying that the cops ain't doing their job then. Is that what you're saying? You know, you can't have it both ways, man. You can't push the media propaganda bullshit. You really can't. And, really, man, you can't. And, yeah, I'll just leave it at that, man, because I'm getting worked up and shit like that. But what's going on in Texas is bullshit. And those who are out there freaking pushing this fucking poll shit, you're a bunch of poll suckers to me. You're out there saying that cops can do no bad, but on the other hand, you're probably those fucking guys that are running around, Second Amendment, Second Amendment. Well, the NRA should be actually involved in this case going on right now, because the dude was perfectly freaking legal, man. He had his concealed carry, the whole 9 yards. If it was such a problem, and see, I hold the Utah one, because I ain't paying, you know, $600 for a fucking Illinois one, so, you know, I'd carry in Wisconsin, Illinois, or not Illinois, but Iowa, Indiana, everywhere else but fucking Illinois. Go figure, you fucking liberal fucks. But if it was such a problem, why did they issue him a CCW? If it was, because you know what? Those who are in clubs, they're usually fucking tagged by cops. You know, that's why they go around doing their little license plates checks and shit when you're at a fucking party. It's because they can enter you into the system as being affiliated with one of these clubs. So if that was the problem, that would have came right up on a CCW check. Must not have been that much of an issue now, shouldn't it? But anyway, just so you know, quick note, Ferdinand Angelo was convicted today. Jury just came back for the 2012 murder of April Kaufman. Her husband, Dr. James Kaufman, long dead because he was a fucking piece of shit fucking coward. He went and committed suicide. Strangled at his own hands inside of a jail cell while awaiting trial. They deliberated for 2 hours on the case, so he's facing about 100 years in prison right now. And I know you poll suckers are going to come back and say, well, look, you talked all that shit, and next thing you know, you're talking about fucking Ferdinand getting, you know, convicted on murder. That's not the whole fucking Pagans Motorcycle Club, man. It ain't. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this program. I hope you pass it around for me, and I really enjoy the daily chats, as I say. But again, visit the links below. We got the new, the Legitimate Motorcycle Club just hit Kindle. And November 1st, we got Iron Order, the year that changed the MC scene. And many people are asking me about that book. And basically, that book is a middle of the road look at Iron Order MC. I'm going to hit both sides of the argument there. And yeah, it's going to be a fucking doozy, let me tell you. It's going to be a good one. But with that, you guys enjoy your day. Be safe. And you guys take care and all that good jive.